All right. Hi, welcome to another segment of Ask the Experts. I'm Elvina Chin, family life educator with Mums for Life under Center for Fathering. With me today is Rinie Gupta, Sleep Sense certified pediatric sleep consultant, founder of Yawn to Dawn Consulting. I love that. And most importantly, mother to a 10-month-old baby girl. What has your experience been like? You have a 10-month-old girl.
My 10-month-old was the textbook non-good sleeper, and she found it very difficult to settle down to sleep. She needed a lot of rocking, you needed to do the pacifier, she needed to be fed to sleep, and she used to wake up 3 to 5 times a night, and that went on for 5.5 months to the point that I had reached my breaking point, and I knew that I had to resolve it as, as fast as I could, because I knew that I couldn't take any more of it. So you're right, parental sleep deprivation is very, very tough. And the thing is, for all the newborn, expecting parents or parents who have newborn, what they will realize is that they can take some amount of sleep deprivation. It's like the analogy of holding a glass of water. Like if I hold it for a while, I will be fine. But the longer I hold it, even though the weight of the glass is not changing, it's going to hurt, right? It just feels worse and worse and worse. And that is what sleep deprivation is like when you're sleep deprived for not just months, but years.
One advice or a myth that we'd like to address really is the advice that we're often given, how we can help babies sleep through the night. So there's this one sort of advice that I've even heard for myself. Keep the baby awake for longer during the day. And this is going to help your baby sleep through the night.
So if you're trying to keep the baby awake the entire day, just in hopes that they will sleep better at night because they will be tired enough to do that, you are judging a baby by an adult standard. But a baby's sleep needs are much higher. They cannot take so much time awake. So when you keep them awake for the entire day, what you're ending up with is an overtired baby. And it's very counterintuitive that overtired babies are actually not just extremely tired. They actually find it harder to fall asleep because their little bodies are just flushed with adrenaline and cortisol, which are our fight and flight hormones.
That's right.
So these overtired babies, instead of falling asleep regularly, are actually going to be fighting sleep at the end of the night. And they're going to be getting up throughout the night as well because of all those cortisol in their body.
Yeah. So here's another myth that we can address. Again, I've been told this, when I had my children, as well, I've got 3 of them, giving solids before bedtime. Yeah, this will help babies sleep better through the night.
Yes, that is also a myth. Okay, so I understand where this is coming from. Is that if you give more solids, definitely it will help to fill up the calorie cup of the baby so that it will prevent any kind of hunger within the night. But that doesn't have to be right before bedtime. Because if you do a big solid meal right before bedtime, you will end up with a baby who is probably going to be in discomfort. Because think of it like what you would do for yourself. If you have a really, really heavy meal, would you straight away go to bed? Or would you like to get some activity to feel a bit better and then go to bed? So it's the same thing for the baby. Please avoid giving solids right before bedtime.
Coming away from that angle of, a mom or a parent trying to get their babies to sleep well, listening to advice. So what are some of the reasons that babies are actually not sleeping well?
That's a pretty good question because babies don't sleep well for a variety of reasons, but I will just break them down into 2 categories. All right. The one reason that we really can't do much about are developmental reasons. All right. So let's say when the baby is hitting their 4-month sleep regression, so that happens between the 3.5 to 4.5 months mark. In which the babies, the way they organize their sleep cycles are changing. The way they divide the light sleep and the deep sleep and the REM sleep, that is all undergoing some changes. So yes, at that time, the baby's sleep is bound to be a bit more disturbed. But because they are developmental, they only last for a short period of time. So they learn a new skill, they master it, If they're a good sleeper, they will go back to being a good sleeper.
Mhm.
The most common reason that we see for babies not sleeping well is actually sleep prop dependent. Okay, so let me explain that. A sleep prop is something that a baby needs to fall asleep. All right, and sleep props most of the time happen to be the parent associated. So if the parent is involved in feeding the baby, rocking the baby, holding the baby, singing to the baby, all of these things, if they are being done by the parent and the baby associates them with sleep, then the baby is basically dependent on the parent for sleep.